This is the World Privilege Podcast. The World Privilege Podcast, the home of great offers on everyday essentials. Save up to 85% on globally recognised brands.
I'm Lisa Johnson and I help people make money online just with the knowledge in their heads. And I've been doing that for about 8 years.
You're listening to the World Privilege Podcast. Visit worldprivilegeplus.com.
How are you?
Not too bad. It's a bit crazy here, but I'm all right.
How old would you say you were when you first started out?
40. Also, just turned 40. So up until that point, I'd always been in debt. And when I was 39, I was 35,000 in debt. So I'd always had not really any spare money, always trying to make ends meet. And then I had a wedding planning business when I was like 38, 39. And I made every mistake that you could possibly make in that business. But after learning about business and, reading all the books I could get my hands on, going to every free webinar, I turned that business around. And it was turning that business around to making a decent amount of money that then people started asking me how I'd done it. And I realized that actually what I was really good at is teaching business in a really non-jargon, really obvious, easy way. And that's how this business started.
I know you grew up in social housing, and how did that impact the start of your journey?
Oh, hugely, because I grew up in a council house and never had any money. There's generational poverty in my life. And so when I started in business and wanted to help people make money in business, my own money mindset was pretty shocking. Like, I kind of thought that people from where I come from didn't get to make money. I believed that rich people were bad people because when I was younger, I was bullied at school I got a scholarship place to a private school. And all of the kids there were rich and they all bullied me for being poor. And so I believed that rich people were bad people. And so when I started to try and make money myself, that had an impact on me because I was literally trying not to make money because I didn't want to be one of those kinds of people. And so it took a lot of mindset work when I first started and once I'd done that mindset work, then I made money very quickly after that.
Can you break down some of the passive income streams that have worked best for you?
Yeah. So I tried lots of different things. So in the first year of having my business, I realized that I was making money. I was making 220,000 a year, but I was exhausted because it was all one-to-one work and I could only trade time for money. There was no other way of making money and I was running out of time all the time. People were handing me money saying they wanted to work with me and I was saying I can't.
Yeah.
Which made no sense to me. And so then I started looking at passive income streams and I actually put in half the money that I'd earned into learning about passive income streams. So I learned about everything from cryptocurrency to app development to affiliate marketing to courses and started to add in these income streams into my own business. And what happened was in that first year of making about 220,000, I was working 80-hour weeks. By the end of the second year, I was working about 30 hours a month and I was making over $1 million. And that made me realize, but some of them didn't work for me. Like I didn't go the crypto route or drop shipping or affiliate marketing, but the things that worked really well are things that were knowledge based. So affiliate marketing worked well for me. Courses, memberships, workshops, anything where I'm taking knowledge and putting it out there and I can use it over and over again without having to do more work. They were the ones that worked best for me. And that's pretty much what I teach other people to do because I believe everybody knows something that they can sell. Like everybody. Your knowledge isn't common knowledge and yet we all think everyone knows what we know. But when you start talking to people, you realize they don't and they would pay to know what you know. And that doesn't have to be business things. That could be just normal things. So, whether it's how to potty train twins, whether it's how to get around Disneyland with 2 under 2s or how to start photography. It could be anything like dating, sex, anything, cooking. Something. If anyone's ever said, can I pick your brains? That means you know something that you can sell.
I know you emphasised there's not a one size fits all and you mentioned that there were things that didn't work for you. So how do you think people can create that strategy that truly aligns with them and works for their lifestyle?
I think the best thing to do is just to get a big piece of paper and write down all the jobs you've ever had, all the things that have happened like if you have a business, in your business that you've learned, all the hobbies that you have and all the life experience you have, and then realize that profit follows passion. So what are the things you're passionate about teaching, and do that? So, I've had someone make thousands of pounds a month for membership hula hooping, because that's what I'm passionate about. Like, it doesn't have to be some big rocket science thing. It just needs to be something that you love talking about, whether it's sustainability or, LinkedIn or whatever. You can make money from it. But you start just by working out what you know, because I think most people don't know what they know.
I wanted to touch on, I know with a lot online, there's a lot of almost scams, I guess you could say.
How many pyramid,
especially when it comes to, pyramid schemes and this passive income that obviously everyone wants. What would you say, like, the biggest red flags with this, especially with like online coaching, mentoring? What would you say the bigger red flags people should look out for?
There's a lot. I talk about this a lot because I got scammed so many times, like when I started. I think the biggest scams at the moment are the pyramid schemes where they don't tell you anything about it. So the red flag is if they're saying, oh, I'm traveling the world and making 10,000 a day while I sleep, red flag. Like, there is no such thing as get rich quick. Like, even when I talk to people about how to make money with the knowledge in their head, I'm really clear that it's going to take a year to grow an audience. Like, you're not going to make money in 6 weeks. It's going to take you a year or more. There are people that say that they're making money really quickly. They aren't. And if they are, it's through a pyramid scheme. If there's no viable products and you're just getting people in to sell, like there's selling a course to sell a course to sell a course to someone else, like, that's a pyramid scheme. As soon as you can see that you're getting paid not for the knowledge, but actually just by recruiting other people, then you need to be wary. Also, I think it's a really good idea to do proper due diligence. Now, when I say proper due diligence, I teach people to do this. Ask for, if somebody is claiming millions or claiming even thousands, ask for their annual accounts. A person that is doing things properly will not mind giving you those annual accounts. I give them out all the time because I think it's really important that people stop making these ridiculous claims. It's so easy to just say you're making however much money you want and no one ever checks. So if you're going to give anyone money, check. And people say, yeah, well, I looked on Companies House. You can't tell anything from Companies House because good business people can hide money.
Go for loopholes.
Yeah. Like, you can't tell from there, but you can tell from annual accounts.
Yeah, I've been seeing at the moment, there's a big thing on TikTok about, traveling the world, this, that and the other. And then they say that they make all this money and everyone in the comments is like, how do I do it? How do I do it? And I'm thinking, no, guys, don't do it.
Don't do it. It's all they all come on to a very heavy pressured webinar where they'll force you to pay to even find out. And if it was something they were proud of, they'd be able to tell you in the comments exactly how they did it so that you could do it too. And that's how you always know. If they're like, well, you have to come onto a webinar or have a call, then don't.
You're listening to the World Privilege Podcast, the home of unbeatable offers on everyday savings. Enjoying today's episode? Check out our other podcasts at worldprivilegeplus.com or find us on social media. Back to the podcast.
I know you had an article in Forbes. What was your approach to creating content that resonates with like that big of an audience?
Yeah, I've been in Forbes a few times now. I think with Forbes and Business Insider and things like that, it's about knowing what people want to know how you did things. Pretty much. People want to know not just the good things, but the bad. Like, what were the stumbling blocks? What were the challenges in business? And we all have them. People want to feel like they're not alone. So I think that one of the biggest things that I've always done to get PR has just been really honest, really transparent about what it takes to do things and how actually it's not complicated to make money online. I think people make it complicated, but it can be time consuming. It can be hard. Like, you will need resilience because not everything works the first time. And you certainly can't think of failure as failure. It has to be a learning opportunity. But I think that whenever I get into Forbes or anything like that, it's talking about those things, the failures, the challenges, how I've made something work after really trying for a long period of time that people are most interested in.
How do you ensure with, being so profitable, how do you also ensure ethics within your business as well?
Yeah, I think it's been one of our biggest things because we that our biggest value is integrity. That doesn't mean, people think integrity means letting people off if they don't want to pay and all of these kind of things once they've had a course. It doesn't mean any of those things. It means treating everybody the same with the same fairness. And it means doing things that allow you to sleep at night. So, for instance, we don't do any of the tactics that lots of online businesses do. Like, I refuse to say, this is 1111 and tomorrow it's going up to 2,222. Like, no, the cost is the cost. You shouldn't need to do that. If it's a good product. I don't believe in FOMO, like trying to get people in based on FOMO. I don't believe that, if people have a genuine money concern, it was only 8 years ago I had that. And so I remember it. So if somebody says to me, well, I can't afford it, then fine. There's no need to overcome an objection. They can't afford it. Let it go. We tell people actively not to get into debt to pay for our courses because I don't think that's the best way of doing things. We basically do everything we can. Like, we don't give people ways to get into debt, like a lot of people do on sales pages. I think if people say they need to talk to their husbands, just say, okay. Like, there's no need to then vilify someone and say, well, you're not a real business person if you're not make your own decisions. Like, of course, you're going to ask the people that love you the most whether this is the right thing for you. Like, I think it's just about not doing anything that makes you feel dodgy. That's always been a good guide for me. Like, if I didn't like it when someone did that to me when I started, I certainly won't be doing it to others.
With a lot of businesses and the ethics, I think as they get bigger, the lines can get very blurred. And actually that being, transparent and honest and things like that, like, that would appeal to me. But do you think from a business perspective that maybe sometimes that hinders you, or do you think that benefits you?
I think it can hinder you, of course. It's easier to make money by promising people the world. So yes, it can hinder you, but it's about what success is to you. So success to me isn't just making the money. Success to me is making the money and having a really positive influence on people, having an impact, not a bad impact. And so it depends what success is to you. But I think it can do good as well, though. Like, people come to work with me not because I'm the best at what I do, but because they know I'm ethical. I think you just need to know yourself and know what integrity means to you, what honesty means to you, and what your own values are. Because I know a lot of people that are making more money than me, but have done it in a way that they feel very badly about. And I never want to be done.
If you are enjoying today's episode, then check out our brand new Elevate magazine. Our online magazine is free and tailored to you, with exclusive stories, insider features, and smart lifestyle picks from the people who make World Privilege Plus what it is, our members and our partners. Check it out today by heading to elevate.worldprivilegeplus.com or click the link on our homepage.
What would you say have been some habits or routines that you think have really contributed to your success in your business?
Honestly, I don't think they have. I think that people talk a lot about, early morning habits and doing the same things each day. I've never been able to. When I first started, my twins were 4. Trying to do a morning routine with 4-year-old was not an and so I just allowed myself not to have the pressure of having this perfect morning routine and having habits that I have to stick to. Instead, I've just kind of gone with it and allowed myself to do what feels right at the time. And sometimes that's getting up at 5 a.m. Most of the time it isn't. I'm all right with that.
And do you have any advice you would give to your younger self?
Yeah, really don't care what other people think. I think that holds so many people back. It certainly held me back. We do things and we worry so much about what other people think of us, even strangers on the internet, not even just like our friends, but people that we really shouldn't care about their opinions. Like, there's a phrase, if they're not paying your bills, their opinion doesn't matter, and there's something to that. But also, don't take advice from somebody whose position you wouldn't want to be in. Like, how many people ready to give you advice? And when you think about it, you're like, well, I don't want to be you. Why am I even listening to this advice? And yet I took so much advice from people that I don't want to be. Realizing, like, if I could tell my younger self anything, it would be realize that anyone that has a go at you online or trolls you, it's about them most of the time. It's about their own insecurities and their own things that are going on. I get trolled a lot because I'm a woman talking about money. I can stop talking about money, or I can just not care that those people told me. And like, there's a very obvious one we should do, but we don't do it all the time. It took me a while.
And I know a lot of people shy away from talking about money and things like that. How did you become comfortable and confident discussing finances and money?
Yeah, I don't think I was at the beginning, because we've got this thing in the UK where it's vulgar to talk about money, which is really weird. Like, I find it really odd that we'll go to a pub with our girlfriends and we'll talk about the sexual position that we were in the night before, but don't ever ask what someone's salary is. Like, how did this come to be? It's just not. And I think that what made me start talking about it is when I first started, I tried to find anyone talking about money that came from the same background as me. And I couldn't find anyone. And so I vowed that when I started making money, I would talk about it, because then people can see what's possible. If you can't see what's possible for someone like you, it's really hard to like go and emulate it. And
This is the World Privilege Podcast. The World Privilege Podcast, the home of great offers on everyday essentials. Save up to 85% on globally recognised brands.
I'm Lisa Johnson, and I help people make money online just with the knowledge in their heads. And I've been doing that for about 8 years.
You're listening to the World Privilege Podcast. Visit worldprivilegeplus.com.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a bit crazy here, but I'm all right.
How old would you say you were when you first started out?
40. Also, just turned 40. So up until that point, I'd always been in debt. And when I was 39, I was 35,000 in debt. So I'd always had not really any spare money, always trying to make ends meet. And then I had a wedding planning business when I was like 38, 39. And I made every mistake that you could possibly make in that business. But after learning about business and, reading all the books I could get my hands on, going to every free webinar, I turned that business around. And it was turning that business around to making a decent amount of money that then people started asking me how I'd done it. And I realized that actually what I was really good at is teaching business in a really non-jargon, really obvious, easy way. And that's how this business started.
I know you grew up in social housing, and how did that impact the start of your journey?
Oh, hugely, because I grew up in a council house and never had any money. There's generational poverty in my life. And so when I started in business and wanted to help people make money in business, my own money mindset was pretty shocking. Like, I kind of thought that people from where I come from didn't get to make money. I believed that rich people were bad people because